All right. Hello, folks. Welcome to Shipwrecks. Hi, Mia. Thank you for joining us. I'm glad that you are here for both the marshes and the fields. Ghost is just getting us some very important ginger ale. And then we should be ready to go. Oh my god, what am I doing with this hat? That's okay. Man, so...
I just breathed in a bubble.
Right up you just breathed in a bubble right up the nose?
Yep.
Okay.
Oh, I just took a sip from this one. The other one is yours.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah. Well, you figure out the staging then.
Okay.
Talk amongst yourselves.
Hello. Bear with me for one moment. Oh, we are woefully unprepared tonight. Okay. Let's move this table. Delicious. Okay. My goodness. So the last time I set this up, I set it up for just me.
I thought it looked a little narrow.
There we go. Thank you for your patience. Thank you for bearing with us. Okay. Let me just check all the technical things. Play with all of our settings. How is everybody doing tonight? Apologies for the late start and all the technical tomfoolery. That'll do. Okay. Hun, is it okay if I point kitten cam towards the kittens eating, or?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
Well, yeah.
Okay.
That's fine.
Okay. Here we go. Oh, good. Mia's okay, just vibing. Good. Good. Where is Kitten Cam? Kitty Cam. Might need to... Okay. Kitten Cam is remembering the last thing it saw. It's reviewing its past lives. There we go. Hello, Chaotic Bakery. Oh, Chaotic Bakery says it's quite interesting to see someone play your game, not gonna lie. So I'm assuming that you're one of the creators, so that's pretty awesome. Oh, hang on, we are way too big. Let me... I swear, we are normally slightly more put together than this, but only slightly. Only slightly. This is, the 5:30 time slot is like an hour earlier than we're used to streaming at. And you can tell, it shows. But yeah, for those who are new here, I'm Ghost in the Hella. My partner Velmax was here briefly and will return. And we will start playing once he has returned. And my lovely fur daughter Gideon is enjoying some dinner. Oh, nice! Oh, Chaotic Bakery is the main writer. Awesome. Oh, that's very exciting. Very cool. And hello, Shisimo. Saying, put together is highly overrated. Thank you. I appreciate that. And again, for those who haven't watched our streams before, we stream simultaneously to Twitch and YouTube. So if I'm responding to chat that you're not seeing, it's just from the other service. But that is awesome. So yeah, I can imagine, like, I've never made a game, but I can imagine it'd be a little weird seeing other people play it. But, like, good weird, I would hope. I've certainly been very excited to play it since I found out about it. Bib, do you want me to wait for you before I start playing the game itself, or,
You know, it's 45 minutes after we said, I'm sure I can catch up.
Okay. Alright. Shisimo says, and for some reason I am the one viewer who just insists on watching via Twitch. Hey, we do not mind at all. Okay. Max. I love the art. This is adorable. Okay, I'm extremely glad to see you. Thank you for playing our game. Your support means everything to us. Aww. Ooh, have we played Life is Strange Season 1 before? Yes. Yes, we certainly have. Aw, wowzers. Nice to see some fans coming over here. While Life is Strange Aftermath is definitely not the first game of its kind in the fan game sphere, we hope you guys find it entertaining. Yeah, we played, Love is Strange, the Victoria route, not that long ago, and really enjoyed that. So, looking forward to playing something that sounds quite different. Well, Mia says, how exciting, I'm glad y'all are getting so many people downloading your game. Yeah, that's awesome. And Shisimo says, the sprites are adorable, I want them all. Mia says, oh my god, the art is precious. Blushing Max. It really is. It's super cute. From the biggest fans to the more casual audience, we thank you for giving us your time. That's very nice. Well, you've got everything that you need to know so you can enjoy the game. Shaka bra. Oh, just one last thing. If you enjoy the game even just a tiny bit, please be sure to leave us a nice review or comment in our itch.io page or on Twitter at Our Zone Studios. Follow us on Tumblr or even donate to us. Yeah.
Oh, hi.
Yes, dear?
Yes.
Yes. Yes, the kittens have left the room, so definitely shut off Kitten Cam. Kitten Cam is off. This means more than you can think. It's motivating and it lets us know what we can do better, so please consider doing so. I always feel like that same kind of thing when I'm posting fanfic, just like, say something. Talk to me, let me know that you are here.
Love me.
Yeah.
I know.
It's yeah, it's an important thing. Let your content creators know that you care.
I posted this because I wanted to feel something.
That is the root of all fanfic, isn't it?
More feels.
More feels. Shismo says, you're on the air with KRCT and I'm not alone in the universe. Oh yeah. Okay, let's put Kitten Cam back on since the kittens have returned. Oh, sorry, I'm sitting on your headphones.
Yes.
Kitten Cam.
Oh, and we should move us to the top left corner.
Ah, yes. Good call. Boop. All right. We are in our Rachel Amber Halloween costumes.
Uh-huh.
We are ready. I'm also wearing my Before the Storm smashy shirt.
Are you
So I am good to go. I was briefly. Yeah, let us know if you're not getting audio.
There we go. I think the volume was just down pretty low.
Okay.
Good.
Comments are life's blood. Yes. Yes. Okay. We stood on top of the mountain, the cold wind lashing against the cracking branches of the trees. Drops of water violently crashed against my almost freezing wet skin. My eyes were locked on the massive tornado, a familiar sight that I had seen more times than I would have liked. All those rewinds, all those futures that I had visited and changed, they didn't matter. It was as if the tornado was our fate, a cruel ending that would chase me to every corner of the world. It was a fate that I had created. All of those people, David, Joyce, Warren, Kate, I brought this upon them, didn't I? Aww. Oh no!
Do you want to be Max or Chloe?
Up to you. The gaze on my screen are levitating. Yes. This is my storm. I caused this. I caused all of this. I changed fate and destiny so much that I actually did alter the course of everything. I'm trying to remember how she actually delivered these lines. Mm-hmm. And all I really created was just death and destruction. My eyes selfishly focused on Chloe, her blue hair standing in a dark contrast against the menacing storm. Her look was full of distress. The once cocky girl was now full of fear as she realized that this time there was no going back.
Fuck all that, okay? You were given a power. You didn't ask for it. And you saved me, which had to happen. All of this did. Except for what happened to Rachel. But without your power, we wouldn't have found her. Okay, so you're not the goddamn time master, but you're Maxine Caulfield.
Max, never Maxine.
And you're amazing, Max. This is the only way.
As she stopped talking, Chloe reached into her pocket, her fingertips holding the frame that single-handedly started this hellish week. The bright blue butterfly standing on the rim of that bucket in the school bathroom, that white border still visible amidst the chaotic storm. I feel like I took this shot 1,000 years ago.
Oh, Mia says windows are covering sprites?
Oh. Oh, yeah.
Whoops.
La la la.
Oopsie.
Let's make us more small.
Maybe put us in the middle, like us and Kit and Cam in the middle on top.
Actually, Kit and Cam is abandoned now, so. All right. Let us know if that's better.
Thank you, Mia.
Yes. I feel like I took this shot 1,000 years ago.
Whoops. Uh-oh.
Oh my
crap. And any errors are going to be us, presumably.
Yes. Most likely any errors are caused by us. There will be single sprites that will be covered that way, but they're a lot more rare. Okay. Good to know. We will try to keep in mind our window placement as we restart the game, because we somehow exited out of it. Sorry.
It is pretty music.
It is.
All right. All right.
We're gonna have to, click yes.
Yes.
I already read all this out loud, so you can just click through at will. Okay. Yep. Okay. And we're back. I'm pulled through that train of thought as I realized what her plan was. I could see it plain as day through the all too familiar eyes of the troubled girl.
You could use that photo to change everything right back to when you took that picture. And all that would take for me to...
Chloe dug her face into her pale hands. I could barely hear her sobbing with all the noise. I didn't need words to know what she was thinking. Fuck that. No, no way. You are my number one priority right now. You are all that matters to me.
I know, you proved that over and over again, even though I don't deserve it. I'm so selfish, not like my mom. Look what she had to give up and live through, and she did. She deserves so much more than to be killed by a storm in a fucking diner. Even my stepfather deserves her alive. There's so many other people in Arcadia Bay who should live, way more than me.
There was a slight pause in between her words. They were strong, projecting her resolve, but her eyes and face showed the despair deep within her soul as she confronted her possible death. Even she knew how scared she was. Don't say that. I won't trade you.
You're not trading me. Maybe you've just been delaying my real destiny. Look at how many times I almost died, or actually did die, around you. Look at what's happened in Arcadia Bay ever since you first saved me. I know I've been selfish, but for once, I think I should accept my fate. Our fate.
Our fate? Chloe. Chloe was the victim of a cruel destiny. A destiny that ended in her death, no matter what. But was there really nothing I could do?
Max, you finally came back to me this weekend. You did nothing but show me your love and friendship. You've made me smile and laugh like I haven't done in years. Wherever I end up after this, in whatever reality, all those moments between us were real, and they'll always be ours. No matter what you choose, I know you'll make the right decision.
She gave me a sweet little smile. Her eyes told me how much she trusted me, but Chloe, I can't make this choice. How many lives did I hold in my hands? I couldn't do this. I tried to argue, but before I could object, Chloe took a hold of my arms, my eyes looking straight into hers.
No, Max.
She took a small pause, her delivery being clear as day as we stood in the climax of the raging storm, her sweet voice cutting through the air and noise without effort.
You're the only one who can.
It was as if time had frozen. The freezing air and rain was insignificant now as I was faced with an impossible choice. Polarized between Chloe and Arcadia Bay, the town that gave us so many memories, my eyes peered over to the tornado as it destroyed everything in its path. I imagined the fear amongst those people, fear that I created, as they saw the tornado slowly take their lives away. I turned my gaze to Chloe. The sadness in her eyes was notorious. I had seen her in so many futures. I saw how her life was taken away, paralyzed and bedridden with any semblance of happiness stripped away from her. I saw her die by Jefferson's hand, and I saw the most important person in her life buried in a shallow grave. I saw her happiness fade away that fateful day. How could I choose? None of these people deserved it. Their lives all affected by my selfish decisions. Why was our fate so grim, no matter where we went? I could feel my face burning up against the storm as my tears started pouring out, the sound of the raging wind and thunder being drowned out as I looked at Chloe with a lost gaze. I took a look at the photo that I held tightly against the wind in my fingers. This was my last attempt to try and fix everything, my very last resort. I turned my eyes back to Chloe, softly shaking my head from side to side as I slowly came to terms with the answer. An answer I didn't want to accept. As if Chloe could read my mind, she softly nodded, her expression softening up as she, without any words, accepted my decision. Mia says we've all turned our gaze to Chloe at one time or another.
And I agree with Mia that I love the little notebook paper.
Yeah, it's a nice touch.
Yeah.
Our last decision.
Max, it's time.
Chloe, I'm so sorry. I don't want to do this. Before I could even think of going back, Chloe pulled me into a hug. I pressed my face as hard as I could against her shoulder, as if trying to savor the last few moments of intimacy we would ever get. My hands desperately clutched her from the back. Somewhere inside me, I just wanted her to stop me, to tell me things would be okay, but that never came to be. Her body was cold and drenched in water, but the warm feeling of reassurance that she gave me made me not want to let go, not even for a second.
I know, Max, but we have to. We have to save everybody, okay? And you'll make those fuckers pay for what they did to Rachel. Being together this week, it was the best farewell gift I could have hoped for. You're my hero, Max.
I took a small step forward, my hands shaking against the cold reality of what fate awaited Chloe. They went directly to her pale cheeks, pulling her gently as if to give her a few moments to realize what my intentions were. I closed my eyes as our lips pressed together gently. Chloe's hands held me in place as we shared our last few moments together. For a few ethereal seconds, nothing mattered but Chloe. Her soft skin, drenched hair, and soft mannerisms were the only thing that I could think about. For a moment, I could forget about time, the wind, the tornado, the destiny that had been following us for this last bittersweet week. It took a couple seconds before we split apart. A sad expression remained on Chloe's face even after our kiss. She slowly walked backwards, still looking into my eyes.
I'll always love you. Now, get out of here, please. Do it before I freak. And Max Caulfield.
I could hear her crying voice through the rampaging wind, my heart aching as she spoke.
Don't you forget about me.
Don't you forget about me. I nodded softly to her petition, one that she didn't have to make in order for me to follow. Never. I turned around. I knew that if I were to look back, I'd regret it and run back into Chloe's arms. But this was our final choice. I looked at the storm, then at the photo I held firmly in my hand. It takes me a couple seconds to focus, scared of what a future without Chloe would be like. Would I be able to take it, living without my partner in crime? I took a deep breath in, and after looking deeply into the frame, I found myself in the back of the bathroom once again, the blue butterfly flying away as I took my picture. I held it for a few seconds before letting go, watching as it fell into a small puddle, a sign of my farewell to Chloe, to the future we had left behind. I peeked around the corner, knowing all too well the scene that was about to unravel in front of my eyes. The wooden door opened and I hid behind the stalls, my heart trying to burst out of my chest as I heard Nathan's voice reverberating through the empty bathroom.
It's cool, Nathan. Don't stress. You're okay, bro. Just count to 3. Don't be scared. You own this school. You're a lion. Take what's yours. If I wanted, I could blow it up. You're the boss.
Chloe entered the bathroom shortly afterwards, closing the door behind her.
So, what do you want?
Do you want to be Nathan or Chloe for this scene? Because I'm assuming it's going to be mostly those two.
Yeah, go ahead. You can have your Chloe turn.
I hope you checked the perimeter, as my step-ass would say. I could hear Chloe checking the stalls as she spoke. However, she didn't see me. What if she had found me hiding? Would things have been better? Would she live? Now, let's talk business.
I've got nothing for you.
My body slowly sank towards the floor. I pulled my legs close to my chest, my arms hugging them tightly as I listened to Chloe's voice one last time. How did things come to this? It took everything in me to not jump in and save her. Wrong. You got hella cash.
You don't know who the fuck I am or who you're messing around with.
Where'd you get that? What are you doing? Come on, put that thing down. Her voice was the same as it was back in the storm, desperate for an escape. Why does it have to be like this? Why did it have to be you, Chloe?
Don't ever tell me what to do. I'm so sick of people trying to control me.
Was it my fault for not reaching out to you and your broken heart? You are going to get in hella more trouble for this than drugs. Was I too late? The last thing you would remember is being alone in this world.
Nobody would ever miss your punk ass, would they?
If I had been there for you. Get that gun away from me, psycho! Would you have been happy?
Ooh, fuck. Oh, I wasn't expecting that. Don't know why.
Oh. And we've got a bot. Goodbye, bot. Fare thee well. Oh, Mia says, my heart is broken all over again.
Same.
Yeah, God. I've never actually played the Sacrifice Chloe ending before, but I have seen videos of it, and it is wrenching.
Right.
Oh, God. Just having to, like, sit there and watch. Or listen.
I know I should have been expecting it from, like, having a title called, like, Aftermath.
Yeah.
But also...
Oh, you didn't read the description?
I didn't, no. It's like,
I read the description.
Marshfield game, yay! Yay, Kate. Happy, happy bunny, 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 bunny.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
I should have warned you, sorry.
Yeah.
No, I knew Chloe was going to die. I didn't know we were going to see that whole scene.
Yeah.
But I did know that Chloe was not going to feature in this.
Why? Start with the feels.
Right? It's Life is Strange. You always got to start off with some feels, and Chloe dying.
Right?
Is it really a Life is Strange game if Chloe can't die? Yes.
Let's find out.
Yes. Because, you know, Before the Storm is a Life is Strange game, and Chloe doesn't die in that one.
She smooth says, happy, happy bunny, bunny, eventually?
Hope so. We'll find out.
That if that
And
happens,
True Colors,
that'll be my review. Happy,
True Colors
happy bunny,
is a
bunny.
Life is Strange game, and Chloe can't die. Life is Strange 2 is a Life is Strange game.
Chloe can be alive in that one.
Chloe can be alive in that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you want me to take over narration for a while?
Up to you. I'm good either way.
Okay. The morning was a bright one. The chirps of the birds that were usually sweet and uplifting were oddly annoying. My eyes were glued to the pavement of the small graveyard of Arcadia Bay. My steps are almost too loud in the dead, quiet air of the place. Not many people had come to the funeral. Kate, Warren,
For some reason.
because Max was there.
He just stalked her to the funeral.
Yeah.
God damn it, Warren.
Oh, what is it? I think there's an episode of Third Rock for the Sun where Tommy invites his girlfriend to go to a funeral, but he
But he doesn't tell her.
But as an alien, he's not doesn't really process
Like,
oh, I
it's a
have
fancy
to
date. Yeah,
I have to go to I have to go to this thing for this guy my dad knows.
It's a funeral.
It's pretty fancy. You should dress up. Then it's a funeral.
Ooh, oh, the 90s.
Yep. Victoria. It's interesting. Joyce and David.
She never turns down an event. Yeah. How dare birds be happy when my Chloe is gone? Yeah.
I moved my gaze upward, seeing how Joyce struggled to move towards the coffin as she was being held in David's arms. She had lost William and now Chloe. I couldn't even imagine what that would feel like.
No, she's got left as David.
We made our way to the coffin, lying on top of a green carpet for the ceremony. Joyce couldn't bear to look at it, breaking down in muffled sobs as she hugged David tightly. Kate stood beside them, directing a couple of sad gazes in their direction. It was hard to believe Chloe was in that coffin. It was hard for me to believe that someone like Chloe would just die like that. Despite a week of evidence of how very mortal Chloe was.
Right? Okay, I think I used a line like that in one of my fanfics, but I can't remember that one. Like, just how very mortal Chloe is.
What would the others think of her? Would they think she was just a criminal? I couldn't pay attention to the words of the priest. I couldn't think about anything but her last words.
Don't you
Forget about me. I'm assuming she was asking for that song to be played at her funeral.
Right? Yeah. It's my assumption.
I bring up my hands to gently clean my watery eyes. How could I forget about you? Your punk style of clothing, your heart brimming with passion and discontent, the way you always lifted me up even when things were dire. I wanted to stop time to stay with you. I wanted to sneak into Blackwell again and swim in the dead of the night. I wanted to go back to that scrapyard and play with guns while acting like the adults we dreamt of becoming.
Mia says, one of my favorite Venge Sim lines, I swear I was hella good at not dying before you came back to town. You know, I don't doubt it. I don't doubt she was staying alive just fine before Max came to town. And suddenly Max comes to town, has a vision of a tornado, and then suddenly Chloe starts dying left and right.
That's an interesting story, and it's not like an interesting idea that it's not. And, like, of course I know band and blah, 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 but in our canon ending, where Chloe lives...
and everybody else
dies. And everybody else dies.
No.
Most people.
Almost everybody else dies.
What if it's not Chloe... It's not the Chloe not dying, it's the Max coming back to Arcadia Bay. Like, Arcadia Bay is allergic to Max. And it's like... trying to get her to leave town, and like
it's like all she had to do was leave.
And like,
what if Jefferson causes the storm? What if it's just like, maybe if she had let him stay dead, storm would. Anyway.
It was already raining by then.
Shisumo says, Arcadia, I got rid of you once, darn it.
But yeah, but the like...
That's why William died. It was like, get out, you're not leaving fast enough. Go, go, go.
Right. Huh. Anyway. It's a fun idea that probably doesn't actually work.
Yeah.
Like most of my ideas. So why should this one be any different? I wanted you, Chloe. The ceremony continued, muffled sobs being carried away by the gentle breeze of the morning. The cemetery was empty. Everyone had left shortly after the burial, and I couldn't blame them. The atmosphere was gloomy and eerily quiet, even with the chirps of the annoying birds.
Mia says, the storm is like an immune response, like it was triggered by vaccines!
No. It's triggered by Maxines.
It's an anti-vaxxer!
Arcadia Bay anti-vaxxer. You heard it here first, folks.
Oh God, what is wrong with us? Yes, Bakery, if you're still Chaotic Bakery, if you're still here, I'm so sorry.
Okay, but hear me out. Max is
it's like a lovely game.
If you took the word mask and vax and combined them, you get Max.
Yes. Somebody actually wrote, after the remasters came out, like, wrote a fic about, like, debunking Max's anti-vaxxers, that, like, having, I think, was it, like, Chloe and Steph sit Max and Rachel down and be like, okay, this is an intervention.
Right, because she says
explain
something
to you why
about
vaccines work.
She was saying something about the flu shot, right?
Yes.
Oh, God,
yeah.
Max. It used to be just a quirky personality thing and not, like, a...
Yeah. Well, I still think, like, if you go with the Max's being autistic headcanon, like, I could totally see her mom being one of those people who were like, oh my God, vaccines ruined my child, and now I blame them for everything.
Oh my
and
God.
Yeah. And, like, that being why Max is an anti-vaxxer.
Yeah, I can totally see Max's mom being, like, one of those, like, parents of a vaccine-injured child.
Or, like, not even vaccine-injured, but, like...
Yeah, no, like...
Yeah, because, as you know, it's not actually caused by vaccines. That has been debunked.
Yeah, like,
thoroughly.
Somebody I knew in undergrad was, like,
her mom is so that kind of mom.
She was, like, doing...
Anti-maxer.
Like her grad thesis on, like, the, like, autistic parent who believed in vaccine injury, like, and stuff.
Autistic parents, or like parents of autistic children?
Yeah, sorry, I'm thinking too fast. But parents who believed that their child's autism was caused by vaccines.
Yeah, I could absolutely see Vanessa Caulfield being one of those parents.
Being like one of those, like, new agey,
and like the kind of parent who's like, oh no, this is something horribly wrong and shameful with my child, instead of like, it's just a thing.
And
it's
maybe
just
she,
a thing.
and maybe she doesn't like Chloe because like Chloe being like a science geek was like a dick about it one time at
Like,
their house.
actually, vaccines don't cause autism, Vanessa. Also, Max is awesome. Chill out.
And it looks like Chaotic Bakery is still here, so thank
Good.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you for inspiring.
Yes, and thank you for not immediately hating us for talking over your game.
Yeah, it's great so far, by the way.
Yes, Mia's absolutely right. She says, random tangents are a part of our process. It's a sign of love. Yes,
Okay.
absolutely.
Yes.
You should have seen our actual Life is Strange playthrough. So many tangents.
Okay. I think I said I remember annoying birds.
Yes.
Oh, Mikey! Aww! Mikey, one of Chloe's friends,
Nice
gave
touch.
a speech to us. One that tried to be uplifting and remind us of the kind of person she was, but it didn't quite work. I couldn't bring myself to leave, not after what I had seen. I sat down on a nearby bench. I didn't feel like I deserved to leave. I didn't deserve to get off so easily.
Just lives there now. If you're not inspiring us to start babbling about whatever, are you inspiring us at all? Says she smelled rightly. Oh, good. Chaotic Bakery approves of tangents. Sweet.
Great. That reminds me. I looked off into the distance and the bright scenery. My eyes started to water as soon as I thought of her. Aww. What was I going to do? My powers had brought this upon us. The whole bay was so close to being destroyed. All because of me. Instead of Chloe, instead of Rachel, I should have been the one to...
Mind if I join you, Max?
Aww.
She's so cute! Aww.
I quickly moved my gaze upward, and I saw Kate looking at me, with her head slightly bobbed to the right and a gentle smile. The bags under her eyes were commonplace now. Kate?
I'm sorry, it's just I didn't see you in your dorm room. I paid you a visit, but I couldn't find you and I was worried. Am I interrupting you? Do you want me to leave?
How long has it been? I thought that it's only been about half an hour. Had I been gone for that long? You're not interrupting anything. Take a seat. Kate sat by my right side, sitting rather close to me with nervous gestures.
It's been a really chaotic week, hasn't it? Chloe, Jefferson, Nathan.
I nodded softly in agreement. It seemed that even Kate was having a rough time catching up to everything that had just happened. It had only been a couple of days, but it felt like it was years ago.
What he did to Rachel, too. To think that you had this much weight on your shoulders, knowing what happened. I'm so sorry I wasn't there for you, Max.
Kate's tone of voice was dejected, angry at herself. Her emotions were so genuine, as if she was blaming herself for what I was going through, but I didn't deserve her pity. I wasn't there for her that day. I turned to face her for a few seconds, her eyes looking straight into mine with a sad expression. In her face, I could see only one thing. The face of a dead Kate.
Ooh.
Yeah.
She just looks super sad, too.
Yeah.
Stop. Don't come near me.
Oh, great. Oh, great. We're going to relive this trauma, too.
Oh. Mia says, Kate's so precious, screaming, crying, throwing up. The tears in her eyes, her empathy, my heart. Yes, Mia is hugely into Kate, and why not?
I have to say, after hanging around, like, Rain and Mia and the rest of the crew, it's like, Kate, like, I definitely see the appeal of Kate. So
yeah.
Thank you all for for sharing that.
For sharing the joy of Kate. Rain was the first person to get me to write Kate. Like, at all. I don't think I'd ever written her before Rain prompted me. Wait, so are we thinking zombie Kate?
No, because I think if you go back, like, I think if Chloe gets shot, she doesn't...
Yeah. Oh, God.
Like
okay,
everything...
so she... Oh, no.
Yeah.
Oh, no. So this Max didn't save Kate either.
Okay.
Oh, no. But Kate is still alive because Chloe died.
Okay, at least we're getting...
Justice was served.
We're getting all the feels out of the way in this episode, right? Right?
Don't ask me. Ask Chaotic Bakery.
It's fine.
For Max, no pun intended, feels. Yeah, I mean, it's the most accurate for us because...
The first time we played the game, we couldn't save Kate.
Yeah, we tried. Oh, we tried.
Oh, and
we tried so
failed.
hard and we fucked up bad. Yeah. Oh, please. Now you want to help me? I wish you could. It's too late now. There's nothing for me here anymore. Ooh. Oh, thank God it was just a short one. Oh. Mia says, Pricefield is the OTP, but Kate and Victoria own my heart. Hey, I mean, you know, we are multi-shippers here.
Yeah.
You know, Pricefield is awesome. All the fields, all the prices, everything. It's all good.
I quickly averted
With some
my gaze from
exceptions,
hers,
but, yeah.
looking away as I remembered what I had done to her. I could only remember her angry tone and her shaking body before she...
Max.
I couldn't tell her about what had happened. She wouldn't believe me. About the tornado, my time traveling, I could feel Kate's hand on my shoulder. She wasn't pulling me, nor was she being pushy.
Excuse me.
She was being gentle, showing me her support even if there was no response back.
I'm so sorry about Chloe. She didn't deserve any of this. I know how much it has affected you, too, seeing you like this. But I know she's in a better place now, Max.
Kate tried to smile towards me, but there was no response. What would Chloe say to that?
Chloe would probably say it's bullshit, frankly. You know, it isn't fun if I tell you guys if the feelings go away on the next episode.
I know.
That is fair. That's a fair point.
I know.
It's
we don't
true.
actually want to know.
Yeah. No, we are on the train. As long as my babies are happy and gay, then I ship in. Yes, that is fair.
I like what Chisuma says. The bay has many docks with room for many, many ships.
Excellent. Well put. Well put.
She would probably think it was a load of bullshit, wouldn't she?
Yeah, Chloe would.
I couldn't blame Kate. She didn't know Chloe at all. Her words, even if slightly misguided, were comforting, but I didn't deserve them. Would she say that if she knew what happened on that rooftop? Jumping and disappearing from the world that hated her, and jumping away from her friend that she trusted, that couldn't do anything for her. I shook my head in response. I couldn't help her. I couldn't save her. I'm the worst friend ever. Kate lightly squeezed my shoulder, moving in closer as she put a hand on my lap, her thumb moving back and forth as she tried to reassure me further.
It's not your fault, Max. You didn't ask for any of this, but you have to be strong. You were a great friend, I'm sure of that. The fact that you're here for her, it means more than you think.
I remained silent, the soft noise of Kate's thumb brushing against my dress and the chirp of the birds in the morning were the only things that filled the dead air. I wanted to look at her.
Yeah, she's
I
so cute.
wanted
Why
to
wouldn't
hear
you? She's
more of her
adorable.
delicate voice telling me she was there for me, but I couldn't do it. The thoughts of what had happened that week were stronger than Kate's words. All of my decisions futile.
You saved me and others from Jefferson, from Nathan. You're so brave, Max, even if you don't think of yourself that way. You've always been there for me.
She calmly reached for my right hand, clutching it tightly as if trying to get me to react. My eyes remained away from hers, closing them as I could feel tears sliding down my face.
I'll always be here for you, Max.
Kate wouldn't see an answer. I couldn't bring myself to selfishly accept her offer of support. I couldn't bring myself to grab her hand and smile on some happy ending that I didn't give to her or Chloe.
Really, you can just send me a message and I'll be there for you.
Oh, Kate's so good.
She is so good. She's such a good. We can have some tea together. Talk about it, or...
My lips were sealed, my right hand remaining still as it was enveloped by Kate's warm embrace. I couldn't bring myself into her life just to destroy it again. I don't deserve to be around Kate. I couldn't protect her, just like I couldn't protect Chloe. I couldn't make anyone happy. The air remained dead quiet, Kate seemingly giving up her attempts of convincing me after seeing my cold disposition. However, she still softly held on to me, her hands squeezing mine with her gentle demeanor. Time slowly flew by, the warm breeze contrasting enormously against the cold, dark atmosphere of the little bench we sat on. Kate decided to break the silence as she slowly let go of my hand.
I know you're not okay, Max, but just tell me if you need anything, all right? If you need class notes, or if you need to do something to distract yourself, I'll be here for you.
With that being said, she walked away. Did I save you, Kate? Do I ever really do anything for you? I wiped my tears out with my bare arm before standing up from the black bench. I couldn't help but look back at Chloe's grave, resting beside William's. I guess you are in a better place now, aren't you? Away from this empty hell. I slowly walked away, but it didn't feel like I really left at all.
Oh my God, Mia. Kate is so supportive, I can't take it. Or what, Kate? Or what? Oh, Mia. Extended hand holding. I feel gay in this Chili's tonight. Kate is alive, Max. It's because of you.
Oh, that's a nice storm.
Oh yeah, that's nicely
really like
done. Do you want me to take over the narration?
Yes.
Yeah. I made it back into my dorm after a long walk. The weather being... You okay?
Yeah, I just tugged on my...
Ooh. Oh, that's unpleasant.
Oh, God.
The weather being awfully nice after everything that had happened. At the very least, not having to see dead whales every day was a relief. Excuse me.
Whew.
My room had remained more or less the same. My wall of pictures stared down at me, tempting me to go back into them and change the future. It only took a few seconds of thinking to realize that would make things even worse in some impossible way. Tampering with time was extremely useful, sometimes even fun, but I wouldn't have to think twice to know that I'd never want to see the consequences of it again. Never again. I get startled by the feeling of my phone buzzing on top of the wooden table, and with a sigh I decide to check what it was. I open my text to see probably thousands being thrown my way. Stella, Steph, Warren, Dad, Mom. I gently smile as I see them. It was at the very least comforting to see the amount of support I was receiving. I see a message from Kate. Do you want to be Kate or Max?
I'll be Kate.
Okay.
Hey, Max, just here to remind you, take it easy. I know it's tough, but I'm here for you and your friends, too. Send me a message whenever. XOXO.
Some sort of smiley.
Some sort of emoji.
Kate wasn't going to give up, was she? I tossed my phone to the side. I appreciated all of the messages, but I didn't feel like I could answer back to any of the messages I got. I sat down on my bed and let myself fall back, staring at my ceiling. I stared at it, just thinking. It felt like I had seen her moments ago, but simultaneously felt like it had been longer than I could remember. My hand reached out to the ceiling. What would she say if she saw me? I was such a mess. Hello?
Hello?
My hand quickly retracted back to my side as I sat up by the side of my bed. I ran my hand through my hair in an attempt to not look so terrible. Yeah?
Hey, Max, can I come in for a bit?
Steph's voice was
Aw.
easily audible. She didn't sound sad or anything of the sort. Did she just come by for a visit? I saw her message. Was she here for that? To comfort her? To comfort me?
Oh.
Kate throwing out them XOXOs. And she's saying, she's saying, come on, hippie, shake that bunny ass. Does sound like Chloe, doesn't it? Without being able to think of a reason as to why I shouldn't let her in, I nodded to myself and answered. Come in. And shortly afterwards, the door opened. Steph!
Oh, what a cute Steph.
Yeah, I love Steph. Steph walked in while looking around the room. I had met her during the funeral, even if our meeting wasn't so cheery. She definitely seemed like a nice person. I knew her and Chloe were acquainted. Did she come here after hearing the news? Her eyes refused to meet mine, as if she felt guilty for what happened, even if she had no part in it. In between her hands, she held a little cardboard box.
Aw.
Was this some kind of gift?
Is this some kind of life is strange? It's quite the aesthetic room, isn't it?
She said that with a small chuckle. As she stepped further into my room, she grabbed a chair, pulling it towards her as she took a seat. Well, it keeps my creativity flowing. I tried to keep the small talk up. Steph looked at my wall and the pictures on it. Photos of birds, the ocean, my family, pictures I'd taken across Blackwell. The list goes on.
You're quite the creative, huh? You're a good photographer.
She spoke, the air in the room feeling awkward with no real conversation topic. It was obvious there was something more at play here. I doubt she'd be coming here just to compliment me. I didn't answer back, and this prompted Steph to be a little more forward.
So, Chloe and I used to be good friends, you know? Even played Dungeons and Dragons from time to time.
She directed her gaze to the floor as if she was reminiscing of those moments. Really? I didn't know she was into that. And that was true. Chloe playing Dungeons and Dragons, and she called me a nerd? That sounded like something out from another timeline. The answer seems to fire up Steph, who nods enthusiastically before she starts talking quickly.
Yes, she played this elf barbarian, and she was named Calamastia.
Or, in our playthrough,
Barb. Mikey played with her too. She was such a badass. She once told one of these lizard dudes that she would cut off its head and use it as a top hat too. Can you believe that?
Yes, I can. I couldn't help but chuckle at the story. Sounds about Chloe. What kind of weapon did she use?
She had a giant axe.
Nice, Steph said, moving her hands as if she were holding a big weapon over her shoulder.
She even died in battle, but she took out this big bad guy. She cut his arm with a single swing so Mikey could finish him off.
Her arms shot up in a dramatic fashion, and I looked at her with an entertained smile. For a few moments, we had forgotten about everything. Oh my god, Max learning about Calamastia from Steph. I am in love with this story. Aww.
And in the last part of our campaign, she came back to life, used a little guy as a meat shield, and then sacrificed herself so that Mikey could live. She was so cool.
And hot. Steph's emotion died down quickly, as if she had realized how Calamastia's end wasn't so far away from the real Chloe's end, and I was the one that knew about it. My eyes moved to my purple bed sheets. Even in the fantasy world, this was her fate, wasn't it? Coming back to life just to give her life for everyone else. Steph moves the chair toward me, the noise of the wheels filling the quiet room for a couple seconds.
Chloe was badass. She was always so cool, even though people thought she was just a punk. She cared about nerds like me and Mikey. I'm so sorry, Max.
I remained quiet at her words. I felt her place something on my lap, the chair slowly rolling away from me as she did.
You should keep this.
I bequeath to you the gay. I turned to face Steph, looking at each other as she smiled toward me. What's this? A cardboard shoebox? As I looked into the box, I could see an odd-looking figurine, some booklet, and a DVD. Quite the cryptic package. I took out the figurine. It was an elf with white hair, dressed in what were basically just red rags, her expression looking like she was shouting at something.
Calamastia, the brave elf barbarian. Well, she's technically dead, but she does have a bracelet of resurrection with her.
Steph and I shared a chuckle. If only. That expression, the slim body, even the oddly colored hair. Chloe. Fits her like a glove. I put the figure on the bed gently and reached for the booklet. The Tempest was written on the cover. Oh my god. My head bobbed to the side curiously. Is this the nerd side of Chloe I never knew about? And this is... Steph laid back in the chair, smiling at the question.
Blackmail. The Tempest, written by William Shakespeare. You may have heard of him. The main actor.
It's pretty obscure, you probably never heard of him.
Rachel Amber.
The mention of her name causes my gaze to shoot right back at Steph. Shooting gaze. Gay beams. She chuckles, amused by my expression. Rachel Amber?
The one and only. Chloe was in it out of nowhere. We needed a replacement, and, well, she was right there.
And whipped.
She put that costume on, and the moment both of them were on stage, it was like magic right in front of my eyes. Like the characters had come to life. And ad-libbed.
Extensively. Chloe and Rachel's relationship was more than just that. It was as if fate itself had put them together, as if they were created for each other. If only they had gotten away from here. God, Katie Bay's just allergic to everybody.
Right?
Fuck.
It's just homophobic.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Excuse me.
Something about those Shirley Temples. Doing all right there? Do you need a moment?
I need a moment.
All right.
Pardon me.
Just a moment. Shisumo says, Rachel ad-libs an iambic pentameter. It's ridiculous.
They had some they made up some dialogue mid-play that was amazing. I heard they are remaking the play this year, and they're keeping that dialogue in.
Aww.
Chloe would have made such a great dramatist.
She was. I slowly opened the booklet, the names of the characters being unrecognizable to me.
It's all recorded, too. She should give it a watch.
Aww. I mean, a lot of school plays do get recorded. Like,
I know it's hard, but I want you to keep these things.
Was that the DVD?
It's either that or Blade Runner.
Right.
Her acting, her character, you deserve to keep them. I know how much she meant to you, Max, just looking at you during the funeral. So that's why I wanted to give this to you.
From one gay to another.
I just carry it with me everywhere, just in case.
Yeah. I slowly put the items back into the cardboard box, holding it close to my chest. Oh, interesting. Mia suggests foreshadowing a reprisal of the play with Max and Kate.
That would be interesting.
That would be interesting. And Shisumo says, Steph, very good egg. She is. The contents of the box were rather simple, almost random, but to me, they were more than just treasures. Thank you so much. That was all I could mutter out. Staring at the cardboard box, thousands of thoughts raced through my mind. The room was filled with silence. The only noises that could be heard were muffled voices down the halls. Steph stands up after a couple minutes with a big sigh, putting the chair back in place. Time to go be gay someplace else.
I can only stay in Arcadia Bay for about 5 minutes before it starts to get angry at me.
It just cannot contain this level of gay.
Right. Take care of these, Max.
I felt Steph's hand resting on my shoulder, nudging it softly in an attempt to cheer me up.
You're not alone. Don't forget that.
Arcadia Bay is surprisingly full of gays.
It's like that tiny town you grew up in, where everybody's gay now.
Yeah, we're like... There's like... like 400-something people in that town?
I forget, but let's say
it's a tiny town.
There were 40 kids in your high school class, and like 5 of them were from your town specifically.
Yeah, like my middle school, like grade school through middle school, it was like hovering between like 20 and 23 students for most of my life. And yet, I and my next door neighbor are both queer and non-binary, and there was at least like one trans dude who was friends with my best friend and neighbor, who I did not meet him until college. Just through sheer coincidence, we happened to go to the same college. Which, I mean, it was only like 45 minutes away, but yeah, still. Yeah. Surprising amount of gay for such a small town.
Yeah.
Shisumo says, yes, shockingly, the elite art boarding school has a bunch of queer people. Lol. Right? Anyway, and with that, she quickly walked out of the room, closing the door behind her. It took me a couple of seconds of blankly staring at the white walls of the dorm to take everything in. Steph seemed nice.
Some deep thoughts by Maxine.
Nice enough for me to feel comfortable around her. Although hearing all these things about Chloe definitely took me by surprise. Oh, the many secrets of Chloe Price. I moved my head toward the figure resting on my bed, picking the figure up and rotating it in front of my eyes. The design seemed like something Chloe would call hella cool, even if she wasn't the type of girl to find a fantasy imaginary game interesting. Calamastia, the elf barbarian. A brave fighter, sacrificing herself. I chuckled slightly at the idea. Ironic, wasn't it? Don't you think? Did she also listen to alt-rock? I stood up and went to sit at my desk, cardboard box in hand. I turned on my trusty laptop and rolled around in my seat while it booted up. Chloe was quite the mysterious girl. But participating in a play? A Shakespeare play?
It seemed a bit out of character, doesn't it?
Right? Well, because Rachel asked her to.
Well, yeah.
You do the thing when Rachel asks you to do it.
You to do something. If Rachel asked you to jump off a train, would you do it?
Yes!
What if Rachel pushed you? Would you still do anything Rachel said?
Clearly, yes. Because if you say no, she pushes you off the train. Or, pulls you off. She jumps off the train and takes you with her.
Well, if that's not a metaphor for Rachel Amber, then
right?
what is?
I know. God. Oh, these games are not great with consent, are they?
No.
That was more than just mysterious. I opened the booklet, the dialogue off the get-go, having that old antiquated feeling that made it needlessly complicated with a touch of elegance.
I thought you said gecko for a second. Touch of gecko. Oh, okay.
It's an interesting choice, recasting. The Geico Gecko is...
As Prospera.
The names of the characters had none of the actors' names with it. Prospera, Madeline, Caliban. Well, looks like I'll have to look at the video first. I've raised an eyebrow to myself. Just who were all of these people? All names of people that I had never heard of. I went to my desk and popped the DVD inside the little compartment of my laptop. See, and that's why it's handy to have a laptop that has a disk drive. After a couple of minutes, a window popped up. It takes me a couple of moments to even spot Chloe, most of the video following Rachel as the lead actor. Max learning about the events of Before the Storm Post Bay is a genius idea. I'm riveted. Bravo, says Mia. Shisumo says, bet you didn't expect this scene to get a recap. Nope. No, I didn't. I am not, I'm not mad about it, yeah. I know the Tempest thing, like, a lot of people don't like it because it is quite controlling. Like, she really puts Chloe on the spot in so many ways.
Yeah.
But it's also kind of an amazing scene.
And if you were 15...
Say yes!
And if you were 15 and, like, the coolest girl in school was, like, essentially asking you to marry them, I'd say yes. Right?
I don't know. When I was 15, I wasn't quite out yet, so I probably would have been very confused.
Oh, yeah.
I came out when I was 16. So I was like, ah!
It's like, are you going to get up there and say no homo? Like...
No, No, thinking of myself as a 15-year-old, I absolutely would have gone along with it.
Oh, yeah.
I remember...
Whatever the cool hot girl wanted.
Honestly, like, whatever would amuse the audience on stage. I don't know. My friends and I were very much like, going around being loud and dramatic in public for fun, you know, faking accents and spontaneously bursting into song and dance kind of high school students.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So then, like,
I was friends with the theater kids, even though I was only in like one play as a bit part.
Oh.
But
so then did was that despite the social anxiety, or did the social anxiety come later? Thank you for coming to Therapy Talk with Shipwrecks.
Right?
Because I don't think I've really heard this story.
Really?
Before. Yeah.
Oh, God. Yeah, we did in high school. We did Sleepy Hollow.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was just like a school kid. I was one of the school girls. I had a crush on my friend who got cast as Ichabod. And I had tried to get cast as the female lead, but I didn't get the part because even though my friend was like a year below me, but he had like been part of the theater program for longer, so it was like the chick who got the female part was like had been in the program for a while. She was like a junior or senior, and I was like a freshman. But he was in like 8th grade, so come on. But like still,
yeah. I feel like that's how
I went with it. I had fun.
Good job.
Yeah,
I'm proud of you.
I really like acting. I just get terrible stage fright. Yeah.
Well, maybe we should like look at community theater stuff.
Oh God. Maybe when the pandemic's over.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I love acting. I mean, look how much I love reading shit out loud. Like,
it's true. I definitely benefit from that.
I enjoy acting. I just, get stage fright. Like, I was in a play in college as well, and that... I swear I've told you about this. It was somebody's like senior project.
Okay, well that's different than like the theater, like the actual theater.
Oh
company.
yeah, no, it wasn't like the big theater company, which like my college did have like a theater company. Like it has a renowned acting program. I was not in that program. but I was in, like, one of the, like, theater or writing majors senior play. We have recording of that somewhere. Fortunately, it was not made the first night where I froze on stage and completely forgot.
Right, okay, I'm remembering
I had
now.
the lines so memorized, and I completely forgot. Just, like, every word I was supposed to say fell out of my brain.
No.
But, fortunately, my character was supposed to be drunk. So, I just acted really drunk for, like, 30 fucking seconds that felt like 30 fucking years until the lines finally came back to me. So I did ultimately not ruin her play and managed to pull it out, but oh my god, that was horrible.
So like, it wasn't like a Rachel Amber acting out thing where it's just silence for
uncomfortable
silence with no end
yeah, just
sight.
Uncomfortable silence with me like staggering drunkenly pretending, and like at that point I didn't drink either, so like I had never been drunk before, and I'm pretending to be drunk. I'm pretending to be a drunk British dude. Just, oh my god. Oh,
I'm so proud of you, hon.
thank you. That was a hell of a tangent. Mia says, oh yeah, Rachel could have had anything she wanted from me, laughing my ass off. And Shisumo says, I honestly felt playing Before the Storm the first time that Chloe was more into it, acting and the Rachel thing both, than she wanted to admit. I mean, we've already seen her doing improv during the D&D game, and she kind of got into it. That is true.
Yeah.
That is true. I think Chloe is probably a bit like me, just like she would be into acting if, you know, she didn't have to do it in front of people.
I think it was probably mostly the outfit that like was
oh
the
my
pause. If she got to be like
God.
one of the dudes with swords, I think.
Yeah, although the dudes also had to wear tights, I think, probably.
probably.
Like, everybody had to wear fucking tights. But yeah, no,
Big
I
tights.
would not have wanted to wear that outfit either.
No.
Like, absolutely not. I would have been fine being in the play. I would not have been fine wearing that outfit.
Yeah, but if the hottest girl in school who's suddenly into you asked you to wear it,
I don't think I would have even... I have no idea who the hottest girl in school was when I was in high school.
Yeah.
Like... I was super into my friend who, you know, years later came out as a dude. So, like, hottest girl in the school was not even on my radar.
well, I mean, like you know, like not like objectively, but like
Yeah.
the person who you're crushing massively on.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. Anyway, more about ghosts in the hell than you ever wanted to know.
Aw, that's not true.
Well, for you.
Oh yeah.
Anyway.
Mandatory fun facts.
Mandatory fun facts.
Mandatory fun facts. All right. Before our screensaver comes back.
All right. Tangents. I suppose that was some good marketing back in the day, having Rachel Amber light up the stage solely with her presence and let the crowd go wild. Right here. I let the video play, and the first thing I see is Chloe coming from the back of the stage wearing some kind of raven costume. Extravagant, if I say so myself.
All hail, great mistress. I come to answer thy best pleasure.
Chloe speaks nervously, almost uninterested. Good job, babe.
Thank you.
However, one could say she was trying her best. Most fearless, generous spirit, hast thou performed to the point the tempted that I bade thee? In contrast, Rachel is composed, her gestures calm and graceful, acting like a true mistress. My eyes scan the script. The lines seem normal. Which ones was Steph talking about?
I boarded the king's ship. In every cabin I flamed amazement. The fire and cracks of sulphurous roaring, the most mighty Neptune seemed to besiege and make his bold waves tremble.
Dramatic. My brave spirit, who was so firm, so constant, that this coil would not infect his reason.
Not a soul. The king's son, Ferdinand, was the first man that leaped from his ship and cried.
She took a couple of seconds to remember her lines. I muttered under my breath. Hell is empty, Chloe. I've never even heard of this play, and I know the line.
Cried, hell is empty, and all the devils are here.
You're welcome. Chloe moved her hands in an exaggerated manner. Rachel seemed to be having a lot of fun hanging out with her on stage. But are they, Ariel, safe? Chloe then thinks for a bit before heading over to the boat prop, pointing towards the fictitious horizon.
Not a hair perished, and as thou badst me, I have dispersed them about the isle in...
Chloe takes a small leap down from the boat, checking your hand. We spoke simultaneously.
Troops.
Oh. Mia says, I love your story. That's amazing. I wish I could have been that brave as a teen. I mean, I was only in, like, the one play as a teen. Mm-hmm. But I got into it. I did the voice and everything. Tried to do is it a Scandinavian accent? I don't even remember. But whatever. It was a thing I did. Had a massive panic attack opening night. But it was still good. Mia says, oh my fucking god, y'all have the Tempest voice down. Thank you, Mia. At Chaotic Bakery, so I heard y'all were looking for VAs.
I mean, we're reading it out loud anyway.
Right?
No.
Shizumo says, this is the point in playing this where I literally laughed out loud. Max feeding Chloe's lines was hilarious. Yeah, that is great. That's a nice touch.
Yeah. See Max sitting in Seattle drinking a black coffee in a cafe somewhere reading the complete works of William Shakespeare.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's a shame I don't have it on hand. I think it's still in the office.
I think so, too.
We have the complete works of William Shakespeare. I think I brought it out when we were playing Before the Storm for the first time. You're like, yeah. I got this. It's fine. It's like, but I have the scripts. Look, it is the Tempest. Look.
Let me have this.
Let me have this. Let this be useful for once in my life. Rachel walks toward Chloe, taking her by the arm and guiding her to the center of the stage once more. Ariel, thy charge exactly is performed, but there's more work.
Is there more toil? Let me remember thee, what thou hast promised.
How now? What dost thou canst demand?
My liberty.
Thy liberty? Nay, this most of all I will not grant. Chloe doesn't answer back for a couple moments, seemingly confused about what had just happened. I leaned in closer to the dimly lit screen of my laptop.
But thou assured of my freedom, didn't thou?
Chloe's delivery is now closer to her normal voice, the overacted voice of Ariel seemingly dissipating for the time being. Her eyes give Amber a confused look, notoriously captivated by her. I never said how dearly I hold thee. My habit's been to keep my soul well draped. Most loyal spirit, companion, and friend. Is acting in my service not replete with excitement, amusement, and delight? Rachel moved closer to Chloe, her voice as confident as ever.
Of course, mistress. Most truly, it is so.
Chloe's eyes stopped glancing at the audience, concentrating on Rachel entirely. The audience releases a couple of barely audible awws.
Excitement's a mere counterfeit of bliss. These storms and these adventures, I prefer to know thou still cared for my plainest self.
Her plain self? Did Chloe think of herself that way? Rachel smacked her staff on the ground, protesting against Chloe's feelings of anguish. I have thee in my grasp. I will not bend. I will not see thee flying forth alone. The envy would be more than I could bear. Rachel's words were firm but gentle, enthralling not only Chloe, but me as well. Oh no, she's gay for 2 dead girls now. Poor Max. She can't catch a break.
Yeah.
Ooh. I mean...
if 3 if you count people who have been dead.
Oof.
Or if she will be.
Oh, God. God damn. I continued watching, paying close attention to her words.
So come with me. Is that not in thy power?
Rachel took a step forward, holding Chloe's hands and kneeling down as she left her staff. As she left Prospera behind. For but a little longer, I beseech, continue in thy service to my schemes, and when they are complete, I swear to thee, we shall fly beyond this isle. The corners of the world are mere prologue. I'll seek to make thy happiness so great that e'en the name of liberty is forgot. What sayest thou to my most hopeful wish? Chloe smiled brightly, a small pause in between her responses.
Yes.
Say yes! I paused the video with shaky hands, the still frame of Chloe holding Rachel's hands shining through the dark room. Max hyperfixations that she can info dump on at any moment. Photography, the benefits of public transportation, 1977 Needham 18-wheelers, the complete works of William Shakespeare. And she's doing a second, say yes! That's truly like one of my favorite little touches in Before the Storm. It's just the say yes in the back of the auditorium. I stared at the image for what felt like ages. For a while I didn't notice the stream of tears coming from my watery eyes. Just when did I start crying? For how long had I been doing so? I quickly moved my arms to my face, bursting into uncontrolled sobbing as I tried to calm myself down in a fruitless effort. This was supposed to be your prologue. You were supposed to leave this damned bay that took everything from you. All of this, for what? To die in everyone's mind as the rude dropout who didn't give a shit. To die in a sacrifice never to be mentioned. All for your memory to be washed away like the waves of the sea. Not only left behind by me, but by Rachel as well. The things you loved, the dreams that you forged, all of them lost to this grim turn of events. I rested my arms on top of my desk, my head laying on top of them as I shook my head from side to side, trying to stop my own crying. We were supposed to be Max and Chloe, the ruthless pair of pirates that would one day rule over the world. We were supposed to go out on adventures like we used to when we were just little kids, talk about our boyfriends, keep in touch every day, visit, and time kept ticking forward, almost in a mocking fashion, the only company in my room being the sound of my continuous sobs and the screen of my computer. The last image plagued my mind. I stood up from my desk, forcing myself to shut my laptop off before I collapsed back into a sobbing mess. My sore eyes could use a break after all that. The night had come faster than expected. My paper lamps hung on my ceiling and lit my room with nostalgia for a better time, the light being gentle rather than overbearing. I took the script and DVD and put it on my shelf, the Calamastia figurine standing right to the side of my laptop. She faced toward the door. Maybe she would say, "See you later," before I went to class after waking up. I took a deep breath before slumping back to my bed, laying on my side and staring at my photos. People had told me they were pretty, that I was creative and talented, but was I really? Jefferson had once told me I had a gift. Did he mean it, or was he just plotting to get me too? After our little travel through space and time, I couldn't help but look at everything differently. Was Jefferson nice to lure more people in towards his dark room? What led him to do it? What led Nathan to do it?
Oh, sorry.
That's all right.
I was just getting lost in your voice.
I grabbed my small pillow, releasing a deep sigh as I let myself sink further into the soft mattress. My hand reached for the switch on the wall, turning off the lights for the night. I held the pillow tightly against my chest, my body curling into a fetal position, as if trying to hug it with my entire being. Today had been more than just a farewell to Chloe. It felt like saying farewell to a part of myself that would never come back.
Okay, I think we need to stop there because I have to go back to work soon.
Oh boy, okay. Shisumo says, Chloe, I've seen things you people wouldn't believe. All those moments will be lost in time like tears in rain. Time to die. Nia says, Rachel's face was so blurry and pretty. All right. Yeah, so unless I'm assuming we're not close to the end.
We haven't even talked to Kate except that one time.
Yeah. So I'm hoping, because I know it's not like finished. It's just like chapter 0 or chapter 1 or something like that.
Yeah.
So Gaddock Bakery, let us know if we're like ridiculously close to the end of this or if we've still got a good bit left, because Velmax does need to get back to work, unfortunately, like actual job stuff rather than our like enjoyable hobbyism of streaming. Okay. Shisumo, I forgot Shisumo did play it already, and they say, oh, you're a ways off still. Okay, cool.
Yeah, great.
So we will stop here for tonight. We should save.
I saved.
Awesome, thank you. Max has many poor decisions to make. Awesome.
Okay, sounds like
Cool.
Max.
Looking forward to it. All right, so we will get back to this next Thursday.
Next Thursday at... We'll have to
We'll
check
figure
my
out
schedule.
the time.
5:30 or 6.
Yeah.
Because I'm on a weird work schedule. I have to do some stuff on like West Coast time this week, so that's why
Shit's
everything's
weird
been
right now.
a bit of a scramble.
Okay. Yeah, we've got at least another half hour left in it. So, okay, yeah, we'll play again next week, and I'm sure we can fill up more time with anecdotes and tangents.
Yeah.
I'm sure it'll be fine.
It'll be fine.
It'll work out. And then Rain told me, or like, I think atted us in the Discord that the patch B should be available now for Xbox before the storm.
Okay.
So hopefully we'll be able to start playing before the storm soon.
Start planning that.
Yeah. I've got a lot of thumbnails to make.
So many thumbnails.
All right. But yes, this is lovely so far. I'm excited to play more.
So many feels.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what we're here for.
Absolutely. All aboard the feels train.
Choo choo.
It's the feels train. Beep beep, get on board. Alright. Mia says,
thank you for joining us, Chaotic Bakery.
Yes,
it's really
absolutely.
cool. Yeah.
Yeah, super cool. Yeah, definitely. Thank you for
thank you for making the game.
Yeah, or for being a big part of the team and all of that. And Mia says to Chaotic Bakery, this is amazing so far. Kudos to you and your whole team. Yes, absolutely. Because it's a lot of work.
Yes,
so much
doing
work.
anything,
like even
amazing.
just writing fanfic, which doesn't have to have images and like choices and functionality.
Yeah,
takes so long.
I swear, like, it took me 2 years to actually finally finish that like one tiny little fic,
and it was awesome.
And like then I like got to like submitting it to AO3. I was like ready to flip the table. It's like, fuck this. If I didn't have to do more thinking, I thought I was done.
I have to write a summary now. What the fuck? So,
and I'm sure it's the same, like posting like a game on something. It's like, finally we're done with this. No,
all the things I forgot. But yeah, this is awesome so far. I'm really enjoying it. I'm excited to play more.
Yep.
Nice getting to see Steph. Nice getting to see Max's reaction to like the stuff from before the storm, which is awesome. So yeah, thank you so much for making this. Thank you so much for joining us. Yeah, we'll be back. I'll be back. Oh God, I'll be back tomorrow. I keep forgetting. Yeah, tomorrow is Chloe's birthday, so I'll be back at 10 in the morning Eastern, drawing Chloe. Because schedules.
Hi, Rain.
Hey, Rain. Wait a were just talking about you.
We're actually stopping because I have to go back to work.
Yeah. Well, you can head out and I can close up here.
All right, thank you.
Yeah. All right.
Whoops. Uh-oh.
Oh my god. You cut on a box.
Stop pushing stuff.
Chaos in and chaos out. Awesome.
Thank you for coming to our shipwreck.
Yeah, I think Shipwrecks was a much more apt name than we even thought it was going to be. But yes, hello Rain. we're calling it a night now. But as I just said, I will be back tomorrow at 10 in the morning to draw Chloe for Chloe's birthday. And then I'll be back again on Tuesday at 3 p.m. Eastern. I think probably playing Monster Sweethearts. I don't see there being any more of Cryptid Crush. So I'll probably start Monster Sweethearts, which, we were not shit-talking you, and you know it, Rain. No. But, yeah. And then 1 week from today, we will play some more of this. And yeah, at some point we will start streaming Before the Storm, which is exciting. I haven't played it in a while, and I'm very looking forward to it. So yes, thank you so much for joining us, everyone, and have a great night or day or whatever your time zone is doing. It's night here. And if I can find the thumbnail, there we go. All right. Take care.